Am I the asshole for letting my animals do their job? First of all, I live on a farm. We had 2 barn cats, but one has retired into an inside cat because of his health issues. At 5 a.m. I went out to check on the chickens because I heard loud noises. I saw the cat chasing the mouse out of the barn. I called for Liz, fake name, and told her to let the dog out to help the cat because she can't get it by herself. She did, apparently not understanding what I meant, but then she saw what happened when the Jack Russell immediately helped the cat corner and catch the mouse. They both ran off together behind the barn, and I went inside after telling them they did good and giving them the well-earned belly rubs and head pats. Liz later told me it was horrible of me to let them hurt the mouse. I explained how the mouse was eating the animal feed and it needed to get out. She said I could have found a more humane way to do it, but mice have to be dropped off miles away from where they started or else they'll just come back. I explained that to her and she started yelling and said, "How could someone who's becoming a vet let animals hurt each other?" She yelled at me for a good 20 minutes and I finally told her to let my animals do their effing job. She started crying and went to her boyfriend's house. How old is Liz and what is your relationship to her? Wait till she hears that a big part of a vet's job is killing pets. Who the hell is Liz and why does she have no concept of life and death on farms? Not to mention balance. I mean, if you captured the mouse in one of those bucket traps and set it free in a field you always set them free in, and the crows and ravens know about it, those mice wouldn't be alive long. Would she be okay with that? I've got a cur that killed a rat. I love that dog. She adores our rat hunts around the quail enclosure. On the plus side, at least you know Liz is not the person to help you on butchering day. Not the asshole. Protect your animals doing their jobs from the Lizes of the world. Not the asshole. So, Liz is vegan, right? Proper vegan too. No sneaking leather shoes, dairy ice cream, etc., and on moral grounds. Or does she just prefer to ignore how the world works and make a scene when confronted by reality? It's a Jack Russell Terrier. Terriers were bred specifically for hunting vermin like mice and rats. A lot of people forget that animals have purpose other than just being pampered pets. Not the asshole. Liz needs to mind her business and to grow TF up. She eats meat. Does she know what else goes on at farms? Rolling on the floor laughing. The ribs she ate with you the other day were not grown in a lab. Am I the asshole for leaving my roommate GFS waiting for me to get home? My roommate's invited his girlfriend for the week. Yesterday he was working so his girlfriend went out alone during the day in the city. I was finishing my job at 6 p.m. My roommate later so my roommate texted me his girlfriend number to see how we could do because her phone didn't have any battery left and she wanted to get in the apartment. I text her, I tell her that I soon won't have any connection, telling her I'm having a beer with friends and I send her the location. Telling her come here, I'll give you the keys or wait for me in front of the apartment when I come back. Sending her this and then warning her that I won't be able to respond back. She sends me a text telling me okay. I'll wait for you, I don't have the money for an Uber to get to you. I mean you can also take the metro. It's a long ride but you can take the metro. That's what I obviously do. So anyway I drink my beer blah 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 and then I come back. It's busy with the metro etc. so it takes me a lot of time to get back. Didn't necessarily rush to finish my beer and then to get back home takes me around an hour. So I arrive home almost 2 hours after she sent me the text. She is sitting just in front of the house and absolutely yelling at me, telling me I'm an asshole etc. She waited 2 hours in the cold without any battery left on her phone. Roommate is the same, yelling at me telling me how dare I leave her girlfriend 2 hours outside. I'm kinda like I just wanted my beer after my job laughing my ass off ain't my girlfriend and I offered her to join me to get the keys. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. I failed to see how it is your responsibility to make sure she could get in. Why didn't your housemate give her his keys before you left for work? 100% not your responsibility or problem. Not the asshole. You set clear expectations that she could come get the key but that you were not coming home right at the end of your workday. She made choices. It sucks that she was stuck outside for so long. Is there really nowhere else she could have gone in that time? No coffee shop, no mall. Frankly, transit stations make excellent places to wait when it's an emergency. This also highlights one of the great first world problems of the 21st century. No one else is responsible for your battery dying, and it's on you to know how to figure out what to do when it does. Not the asshole. An adult should know to 1. Have money when traveling. 2. Keep phone battery charged when traveling. Not the asshole. It's not your responsibility at all to let roommate's girlfriend into the apartment. Girlfriend is sasshole for leaving the apartment without a way to get in, for not having a place to be or a way to charge her phone. Roommate is an asshole to girlfriend for not providing her with a key or coming to her assistance. They're both asshole for blaming you. Not the asshole. She's the one who decided to wait. How come nobody had a working phone? Why didn't boyfriend give her his key? Why is she visiting for a week with no money? Yelling at you is rude of them. If they can't behave, girlfriend can stay somewhere else. Punctuation doesn't exist. Godzilla had a stroke reading this. I want my time back. Am I the asshole for leaving while my wife was getting ready? My wife is great pianist, but even the best had to practice a lot. She was practicing the same song over and over again. As this was driving me up the goddamn wall, I decided I'd go for a walk to clear my head a bit and to get away from the piano torture. I told her I was just going to step out and go for a walk. She asked me if she could join, evidently equally tired of playing the same song for the past hour as I was of hearing it. I said sure, but be quick about it because I was already ready to head out and I didn't feel like waiting around. She has a habit of taking forever to get ready, and as we were supposed to just be stepping out the door for a quick walk, it would feel even longer relatively speaking. She told me she'd just be a second to change, real quick, and then we'd be off. I told her she had 5 minutes or I'm going for a walk alone. She said, I'll only be a minute. As you can probably guess, she was in fact not only a minute, she happened to be multiple minutes. Understandably this pissed me off greatly, and after waiting for over 10 minutes I just left. I told her as much after all, and I ended up waiting for over twice as long as I initially even told her I'd wait. After, and I kid you not, walking for over 20 minutes, she called me, completely offended that I actually left. I asked her if she was only just done and that if I'd actually waited for her, I would have stood around with my dick in my hands for nearly 40 minutes to just go for a short walk. She was not appreciative of this, and I told her I just needed to clear my head a bit and that this conversation was having the complete opposite effect and that we'd talk about it when I got home. Now, not being in a particular hurry to have this more than likely unpleasant conversation, I might have gone for a bit of a longer walk than usual. By the time I got home I figured she'd be calmed down at least a bit. I was very wrong. If anything, she was even angrier than she was on the phone. We had a long fight and she ended up going to sleep in the guest bedroom. The next morning she was still very icy and insisted that I should apologize. I refused, because I told her I'd wait for 5 minutes, ended up waiting for nearly 15, and she wasn't even ready until almost half an hour later. She told me I could have at least given her a warning before I actually left the house. Now, to be completely honest, I sincerely believe that I did. I very vividly remember calling out to her that I was going to leave before shutting the door. However, I do concede that I was incredibly fucking angry by the time I left, so there's a non-zero chance that I actually just left without saying anything. I honestly don't know who's correct about that part. I'm saying I did, but maybe she didn't hear me. She said I did, and maybe in my anger I actually didn't. She still thinks I should apologize. I think I was completely in the right and that I gave her plenty of time and chance to come with me. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You told her she had 5 minutes or you're taking off with her. And she said it'll only take a minute. It took her over 15 minutes to get ready and she's arguing about how you left her. It's just so stupid at this point. Not the asshole. She invited herself on your walk and then expected you to wait almost an hour for her to change? That's insanity, lol. Who takes that long to change just to go walk? Esh. Her for making you wait, you for basically having a tantrum. I get wanting some quiet. Both of you need to learn to communicate like adults and manage your time better. Not the asshole. How does it take someone an hour to change their clothes to go for a walk? She doesn't respect your time. Not the asshole. She is angry she saw the consequences of her own tardiness and it's easier to blame it on you not waiting for her, or trying to nitpick that you didn't warn her that you left. Girl, look at the clock you left. I would feel incredibly bad that I am making others wait for me, and especially if it's for a short walk. If anything, she could ask if you'd want to join her for her walk when you're done with yours. Is this always how you talk about your wife? Would I be the asshole if I went behind my husband's back and got a job? I, 38F, have been a stay-at-home mom for 17 years. My husband, 44M, is the only breadwinner, if you can call it that. I've gotten a job offer that would allow me to bring in about $1,200 a week before taxes at a local grocery store. Every time I bring up the job offer, he shuts me down. All our kids are in school during the day, but they eat lunch at home. I'm responsible for pick-up and drop-off for our elementary-aged kids. This job would get us, mostly him, because I am listed as his dependent, off of welfare and into a better financial situation. Would I be the asshole if I jumped the gun and took the job behind his back and only tell him the day that I start work? To be honest, getting this job would make me the main breadwinner in the household. It would also allow me to get out of the house and away from him while the kids aren't home. Another advantage is that I would be able to put some money aside for my escape fund. Edit. I just realized that I said $1,200 a week. It's more like $1,200 every 2 weeks. I typed out this text so fast, I didn't read it over. Sorry for the confusion. Put some money aside for my escape fund. Sounds like there's a lot more going on here than you're telling us, which can dramatically alter any judgments. Info. Why do you need an escape fund? Not the asshole, because it sounds like you need a job. Exactly what kind of job does he have, if a grocery store position is going to be paying you more than he makes? There are so many other questions I want to ask, I can't even figure them all out. Probably exactly why he doesn't want you working. He loses control over you. If you are planning an escape route out of this relationship, then looking out for you and the kids comes first. Including getting that job and saving money and being clever and calculating about it. Not the asshole. If making $2,400 a month makes you the major breadwinner in a household with multiple kids, you don't have a provider in your home and he has no leg to stand on to dictate anything here. If the guy was pulling in multiple six figures and wants his wife to stay home taking care of the kids, that's at least a values conversation that can be had. But if your household income is less than $2,400 a month for minimum 4 mouths to feed, you guys are deep in emergency territory. It's all hands on deck to bring in more money, and anyone not on that mission needs to get off the boat. Getting this job would make me the main breadwinner. And there it is. From what you describe, it sounds like he enjoys the financial power he has over you. If you start earning, especially more than he does, it's a threat to him. This might be considered financial abuse. I'd find a local women's shelter, counselor, and ask for their solid advice, as this message board isn't really the best place to be basing your decisions on. Not the asshole. But be aware, this could be risky for you. Not the asshole right off the bat. I thought you should do it. It sounds like your family is struggling financially and this would be a big help. Plus, being 100% financially dependent on your partner is always very risky. Then I saw the escape fund comment. You need to get this job.